Hey, what is up you guys, Zero here. Welcome back to another Lorcana video. Today I'm bringing for you guys a game review. It is the first time I'm be doing a video like this, so any comments, thoughts, concerns you guys had, I would appreciate it in the comment section down below. But yeah, the reason I wanted to do this video is this weekend DLC Melbourne, Australia happened. And it's been the talk of the town for maybe not the right reasons, but I'm not going to be covering any of that. I think a lot of high profile content creators already talked about it. If you want to look it up to see what all the controversies about, it's out there, and everything that could be said has already been said, and that's not really what this channel is about anyway. But what I wanted to cover was Blurple. There were some Blurple players and I saw some Blurple happening, so obviously I wanted to kind of talk about it. But yeah, I wanted to cover this because as I was watching, I saw maybe some plays that could have went better, and the casters kind of missed, or like they maybe inaccurately kind of thought about how some plays should have been done. And you know, I mean, that's nothing on the casters and nothing on the players, because you know this is a high stakes event and they're at round 8, you know, that's further than I've ever gotten at anything. But yeah, I mean, casters have to cover a lot of ground, they have to know a lot of stuff about a lot of decks, so it makes sense that you wouldn't you know all this like really hyper focused information about a deck. And you know, I think Dean Reddy, our Blurple player here, I think he did a pretty good job. He played a very good generic Blurple. I don't think he made any mistakes if he was like you know, straight up going blind and playing blind through the whole thing. But maybe he wasn't as prepared against this Chris, who's playing Aggro Mines, which is you have to play Blurple very differently into Aggro Mines. So yeah, this isn't anything against the players, this isn't anything against the casters. I just wanted to make this video for you guys who want to play Blurple out there, who are maybe scared of Steel Song and want to know how to play better against it, stuff like that. I just want to give you guys some of my insight in case you were in this situation and wanted to know how to play better against this deck. Yeah, you know, this is just learning. That's all I want from this. And yeah, I hope you guys learned something. If you guys like this form of video, I would really appreciate it if you like the video, and if you want more of it, you know, let me know and subscribe, and yeah, I'll try and get it out to you. Of course, I have my Blurple guide out right now on Metafy. I'm going to link that down below if you want more insight on this matchup and a bunch of other matchups that I went really in-depth detail about. You can go check that out down below too. But yeah, let us get into this and see how this game goes. I'll just be kind of going over some of the stuff that I saw that the casters missed, and I was like, oh, I just want people to know about this. And if you guys are wanting to get into Blurple, I just really want you to, you know, get the best experience out of it. But yeah, we are on the draw, already a terrible situation against such an aggressive deck. And already, okay, so turn 1, already a play that is maybe a little questionable. It's not the worst, but we see our Blurple player here inks a Magic Broom and plays a Diablo. So already I would kind of double think that real quick. So why I would think twice about that is our Steel Song player here, or our Aggro Mine player, is has played Daisy Duck on his turn 1. Very aggressive player, of course, all of you know about it, a very dangerous card. And she has 1/4. She has 1 strength and 4 willpower, and our Diablo is a 0/1. So it's a very weak kind of reactive play, and we have to play reactively because we are going second. We're gonna have to answer this player, or else we're gonna get run over real quick. So in this situation, I would say Magic Broom is a better play. The reason being, if you crab the Magic Broom, it brings him up to 4 strength and is able to take out the Daisy. And yeah, that's just against Aggro Mines in general. I would say Magic Broom is usually better. Not to say this is an incorrect play, because like, you know, if you do have the Tipo later, if you do have the Fox, this is maybe fine too. But the reason I don't really like Diablo over Magic Broom is Diablo is a little useless without the crab. So if you don't have the crab, which if we kind of look at Dean's hand a little bit here, I don't think he does, then Diablo is just infinitely weaker than the crab, or than the broom in this situation. I think very unfortunate here, where Chris is gonna quest with the Daisy and we miss, and Blurple doesn't play like any non-character cards. I think we have like 10 at most, so that's just unfortunate. But yeah, if you get a good draw engine going from our opponent's daisies, then we get an even better chance to get somewhere here. But yeah, we see we get to play our Tipo here, ink an extra card, and that's pretty good. At least Tipo here can put some pressure on the daisy, because now we're threatening crab, we are threatening fox, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Dean does quest here with Diablo. If it was me, I don't think this is an incorrect play per se, but if it was me, I would think twice about it. Reason being, if you don't exit the Diablo, you're basically saying that you have a crab or fox, and this might dissuade Chris from questing there. As we see, he just quests ahead because maybe he was like, oh, you know, I don't think my opponent has anything. But yeah, Lawrence comes down on 3. We really hate this because this is just a very, very aggressive line from our opponent, and Lawrence is really hard for us to deal with too. But yeah, Dean is going to go ahead and quest here, which makes sense because he has a fox to play. He is going to fox out the Diablo and replay it. So here's the other thing where, like, yeah, that makes sense, but our Diablo, as you can see, isn't really aggressive on its own. Still very nice if you get a crab, of course, but I think Magic Broom just puts more pressure without Diablo. Like, even if we had to right here, let's say Lawrence quests, we even have the option of running Magic Broom into it. I mean, we have Tipo, like, granted that Tipo can do that to, you know, soften the blow for us, but Diablo can't do any of that without crab. I think Diablo is a really, really good card, don't get me wrong. It's just in a very aggressive matchup like this, maybe not the best. Of course, if you have crab, it trades into Smee very nicely, it trades into Calhoun very nicely, so I wouldn't say it's an incorrect play, but as we've seen, like, Dean doesn't have a crab, so again, definitely prefer Magic Broom in this scenario. But yeah, very nice here that well, Chris decides to challenge our fox here, and we love that because that is 2 less lore that he got. And yeah, he's trying to just save his Lawrence, I think, hoping that we don't have another fox. And yeah, he has Calhoun in the back. He did dock, so he has 2 cards in hand. This is not a bad situation for us, actually. We really like to see this because he also had to throw another dock away, so there's a less chance that he'll have another one. He's basically only has 2 cards in hand, so he's already running out of resources. As long as we can kind of stem the bleeding here, we'll be fine. Here, so we Dean does the play we were talking about earlier, where Tipo runs into Lawrence, because when Lawrence does not have full health, he has 0 attack, so our fox manages to survive this. And that may have been a questionable play if he didn't have a snake. I really like this, where a snake bounces the fox back, preserves it, because we get to run into something else, especially, you know, if another daisy comes out or whatever. It's really nice. But yeah, I think the commentators were thinking, like, is this really a good play where we, you know, just did a bunch of bouncing, but we're playing Blurple. We want to do a lot of bouncing, and I think that was just a very fine play. But yeah, looking at this now, this situation looks not very fun. Our opponent has 2 Calhouns, a Smee, and a Doc, and he's thinking about questing, and he's not sure if he should quest or not, for very good reason, because he knows we have a fox in the back, he knows we have all this kind of stuff, and he's just debating if it's better to hold. And he does end up questing with the Doc and Calhoun into our board, and on our turn, it looks like we draw a Tipo, and we go ahead and ink it. This turn is one of the questionable ones that I kind of wanted to talk about. I think the casters kind of missed a bit too. But in our hand, we have Manor, Genie, Elsa, and the Fox that we bounce back. And Dean's kind of thinking about what to do here. And of course, it is a tough situation. Our opponent has a wide board, and we kind of have to answer it. I think this is the mistake though. Snake is going to go into Doc. And for 3, he's going to bounce back to Snake to take out the Calhoun. I think the problem is this is too much of a passive play, because our opponent still has Smee and Calhoun on the board. We have nothing, and they get to play more cards on the field. Not only that, we floated 2 ink. So very, you know, not a great situation to be in. One thing is we did ink Tipo at the start of this turn. If you wanted to go down this line, you should not have inked the Tipos to get something on the board. I would have inked the Manor, because we're on the back foot here. Manor is never the play when your opponent is ahead of you on the board, because you're just playing a really expensive card here that doesn't get you any board presence, and our opponent's just going to keep going. And you know, playing Blurple, what I always say is if we lose the you know, if they go wide on us, then we just lose. So yeah, see, our opponent's going to play a Rapunzel here. It doesn't get to heal anything, but it doesn't really matter because that puts more pressure on our empty board, and he gets to quest out. He's at 13 now, and we have to find a way to answer this from here. If you were going to ask me what I would have done the turn before, instead of doing that, I would have either went snake into Doc. Here, let me go back to the board from before so we can look at it better. But yeah, this board right here. So you can go snake into the Doc. If you go to snake into the Doc, Calhoun's not really putting that much pressure. Yes, Calhoun will trade into you and gain another 2 lore, but if you know, it's not enough of a threat to fox into it because we lose the fox for this Calhoun. Sure, sometimes it's the right decision, but yeah, I don't like. Yes, we lose 2 lore, but if you're worried about that, if you don't want that to happen, instead use the snake to take out the Calhoun, and then you know, Doc is even less of a threat than Calhoun, right? Maybe that's more of the correct line. Use the snake to go into the Calhoun, play the genie. So the reason I think that's better is we still have board presence. If we had the snake up, so you're gonna have to think about what you prefer here, because if the snake went into the Doc, the Calhoun's gonna trade back, but that's 2 of his characters for our snake. He does get 2 lore, but that's fine, and then he's gonna quest out, or maybe, or we'll see what he will do. But with the genie on the board, we are continuing to challenge the board to, you know, put our presence out, because if he does end up questing with the Smee, next turn our genie can take it out. So that's the thought process behind it, because we want to keep things on the board that can challenge the board, you know. But yeah, now we're in kind of a predicament. We do have 6 ink to play with. We can go up to 7, but yeah, we're empty board though. So with 7, that's high enough for Hades, so we can go up for Hades and hit the Rapunzel. This is just a really passive play. It's like, it had to be done, of course, because I don't think there's much else we could have done in that scenario. I mean, we could have, you know, like played Elsa or something to take out the Smee, but it's just we're too much on the back foot here. Not only that, we gave him an extra ink if he does want to play around with it, so he gets to keep maybe a card in hand that he needed to ink for something else. But yeah, he's also at 5, which is kind of the number he wants to stay at anyway, so he doesn't have to do that anyway. But yeah, unfortunately, he does get a Doc. That's kind of lucky for him, because he was kind of running out of steam there, and he does find a Doc to reset his hand, which is nice. It's gonna I won't say it seals the game, but it makes it a lot harder now that he has it. He gets to quest again with Smee, and he is gonna hold back his Calhoun, it looks like. So I think he's trying to make the threat here that if our Hades takes out the Smee, then the Calhoun will take our Hades back. But I don't know if that's I mean, that's okay. That's not bad, and it's definitely a big threat. But you're like losing out on 1 lore on this turn to maybe get 2 on the next turn. Yeah, I don't know. In this kind of race scenario, I don't know how to play Ember Steel's Aggro Mines correctly, but that is a question. But he's going even wider. You know, he plays the Lilo too, and he's at 15. So this is gonna be really hard to, you know, keep answering. This is a really nice play though. Dean's gonna play Elsa here. He's gonna take the Calhoun down so that the threat that he was worried about before goes away. We're gonna take out both of these characters, and our opponent has 2 characters left that I don't think we have much of an answer to. Think about what, and we finally inked the manor that we should have inked like probably 5 turns ago, and we float 3 ink. That it's just the unfortunate part where we're just floating so much ink while we're trying to answer these threats. We are at 4 lore. Our opponent gets a Happy and a Shmee out, goes up to 18. Wide board against our not so wide board. We want to hope for an answer here. A big Elsa would be super nice here. Give us an extra turn. We would like that. We would like some bouncing stuff like that would be great. Yeah, if we had big Elsa and Snake here, it's a really cool thing. We could you know, shift onto our little Elsa, bring 2 things down, challenge, and then snake back our Elsa. Both are Elsas, which are more answers. And this is the thing, our opponent is out of cards in hand. So if that was something we could do, it would be pretty good. But yeah, we do have another little Elsa. It looks like we don't have a big Elsa. And Hades will take out the Shmi. We're going to trade into the Lilo, and it's not enough. So yeah, just a little stuff like that. Just remember, if you are playing Blurple, challenge the board. Don't let your opponent get away with the board like that. It's really hard against aggro mine, but sometimes it's doable. I think that game, it was kind of doable. We were definitely very far in the back foot. We were going second, so that's something to think about. Definitely don't beat yourself up if it happens, but there are things you can do. There are different plays you can maybe do. Just make sure, just keep board presence. You want to get more characters on the board to challenge our opponent's characters on the board. And yeah, let's just go into the second game and, you know, try and keep these things in mind and see through these plays what you would do in this situation, and I'll tell you what I would do, and then we'll see if you're correct or not. All right, here in the game 2 though, we are going first, so we should be in a better situation. We inked Sail and we played Magic Broom. I think that was the only one drop in hand, so forced into the correct play, my favorite kind of correct play. But yeah, Magic Broom, very nice here, especially looks like our opponent has a Daisy. He's probably going to be playing the Daisy, and this would be great for us if we had Crab. I don't think I see a Crab in Dean's hand, but Crab, I will say, is the most important card in this matchup. Crab and Fox are going to be your saving graces. You want to see those Crabs. That's why I kind of want to bump up and run 4 of them. Matchups like these, it would be great. Like, imagine if you had a Crab here. Turn 2, you can, you know, sail. You can do whatever you want. You can ramp. Even if you don't ramp, it's fine. Next turn, if you quest with Daisy, you just boom, Crab your Broom. Daisy's dead. So, yeah, that's why I think this. Okay, all right. Here's another thing that made me a little sad. So we see my opponent, Dean is playing Sail over here. He's gonna sail the Azurite Sea. He inks a goat, which is fine. But over here, he's gonna ink the Elsa. Elsa is probably the second most important card you have against this deck. It's just Elsa answers Piglets, it answers Mr. Shmi, it answers everything that's ready. Or well, if Mr. Shmi's ready, it's not the same, but it takes out Piglet, it takes out so many things. It's one of your answers to ready characters, and you need that against aggro. If you're inking this, you better have another one, or it has to be like last resort, everything in your hands uninkable, because you want to keep this. I think this is one mistake maybe a lot of Blurple players make, is you see the number 5 on your card and you're like, that's too far away, I'm just gonna ink it. But you don't want to do that, because remember, you're ramping, right? So this is your turn 4 play. Do you always ink your 4 ink cards? Probably not, right? But yeah, so I see this Elsa being inked. I better see something like, you know, really good in your hand, or another Elsa, or something, or like a lot of uninkables, something like that at least. But looking at Dean's hand, I see a McDuck Manor in there, and that card, okay, again, right? You are fighting for board control here, and McDuck Manor gives you negative board control. So in this game, you don't play McDuck Manor unless you've already won the board back, because of course Amber Steel has a really hard time getting rid of it. It makes sense why you want to play it, but early it doesn't help you because you have to win the board back first. But yeah, so I see that McDuck Manor in hand. That definitely should have been inked before Elsa. I didn't see anything else. I think I saw a Hades, or did I see a Hades or something like that? It's kind of hard to see, but I see a Genie. So yeah, some uninkable, sure, but the fact that I see that McDuck Manor, that should have went first probably. But yeah, opponent has Calhoun here, which is fine. We are going first anyway. We can play a 4-drop and just, you know, stay out of reach here. Here's another mistake though. Dean's gonna go ahead and quest out, because he's going to use Turnabout's Followers to draw a card. In a big event like this, do be careful. Make sure you finish Turnabout's trigger before you quest anything else out. As we know now, there are rule sharks out there. But yeah, anyway, he's gonna play Genie, and he's gonna use Magic Boom's ability to get rid of it. Of course, this is very generic Blurple. Those would normally be correct lines of play, but again, in this situation, we are up against Amber Steel. Aggro mines, they're going to go wide. Don't lose your characters like that. yeah, it's just you want them to challenge. You want them to be doing things. Don't just throw them away for draw. You don't really need draw. What are the cards doing in your hand if they're not on the field? So yeah, you know, the broom would put some pressure there. Look, our opponent it might not quest with Daisy with broom up because, you know, we can crab him, we can fox him, we can do a bunch of stuff. And yeah, now he's gonna play John Silver. John Silver is gonna stop our genie from challenging, which is not great. We draw a genie off the Daisy quest, which is again not great. But no, now look at the situation we're in, right? Our genie can't challenge, so Crab doesn't even help us here if Crab was on here. And we can play Fox. What are we foxing? There's nothing on the board to fox because they're all in the discard now. We're gonna have to waste a turn here. We play this turn box followers so that we have something, or no. Okay, so here's the thing. We can't be doing this. So here's what happens. We have turn box followers. We played this McDuck Manor, but we need to win the board back. This is not. We can't be doing this. We had Genie. We had other stuff to play. McDuck Manor, and not only that, McDuck Manor is being played here into two characters with 3 strength each. So Calhoun and John Silver, they both quest for 1. They don't quest for very much anyway. Chris probably didn't really want to be questing with them. He'd rather be hitting face with it. And now he gets to just hit this manor that we spent 4 on while he's developing his board further. So these are the passive plays we don't want to be doing. We wanted to play Genie. We wanted to play anything. We wanted to, you know, if we had the broom out, we could fox it back, take the Daisy out. I'm assuming we don't have it because if we did, I think that's the play we would have done. I see friends on the other side. I see a Genie. Can't really see the rest of his hand, but just anything else. I know at least we have Genie. That definitely should have been the play. But yeah, this is just like our opponent's gonna keep questing here. I think, did we have a snake? I'm trying to remember what Daisy has drawn for us. I think she drew a snake for us, unless we already inked it or something. I don't know. But yeah, 6 damage into the manor. It's gone next turn. Not only that, our opponent plays Smee and a mine, and oh, that's gonna be tough to deal with. See, this is why I think Crab and Foxes are super good. Crab especially, because if we have any 3 strength character on the board here, Crab just takes the mine out. That's kind of what we want to be seeing. But yeah, Tipo goes into ink, and we have to, like, we went first, but now we have to fight for the board back because, you know, we kind of gave it away in this game. You know, it might have been nerves, it might have been just, you know, not being used to the deck. It might have been a bunch of things, but yeah, that's kind of stuff that we want to look out for. We get the Genie out here, we get the Diablo out, and we're forced to do this really unoptimal challenging where we take the Daisy out with followers and the Genie, which I get it. At this point you kind of have to, but yeah, John Silver is still on the board though. Calhoun's still on the board, which means that this manor is not going to last. So yeah, it just got us 2 lore, and now it's gone for 4 ink, and now our opponent gets to, you know, keep getting wider and wider. So yeah, John Silver is going to take it out, and yeah, our opponent has a bunch of cards. He has the mine. The mine can take out our characters if it likes. This is not looking good at this point. So yeah, Lawrence comes out. We move on to, or no, we played a dock, sorry. So we played a dock, so we get some more cards in hand, even worse than moving on to the mine. And yeah, this just doesn't look great at this point. It's just our opponent is wide. The Genies can't take anything out because, oh, it can take the Smee out. That would be nice if he quests, but everything else has either 3 strength or more, or Calhoun has resist, so Genie can't even take it out. So yeah, not a great situation to be at. Our opponent's mine is doing better than our manor did. Do you know why his 7 Dwarves mine is still on the board and our manor isn't? It's because he has board control. So he has more characters on board, and he can challenge our manor, but we can't challenge his mine, because if we challenge his mine, then his board is going to keep questing, right? So that's what I'm saying. McDuck Manor is a really, really good card. It's one of my favorite additions to the deck. I know that a lot of people are doing it now, but I also did it pre-LCQ, and I came upon it myself because I just thought, wow, this card is great, especially into red, blue, and stuff like that. If they miss some of their if they miss their ramp, if they miss, or if they play really passive stuff like that, it's a really good card because you can keep it on the board for a long time. But yeah, you just gotta play it right. I think if you can use the Manor effectively, it'll win you like a lot more games. So I do think Manor is a great addition, but you gotta use it correctly. So yeah, like 2 genies have to go into Calhoun here to take it out, and it's just not enough. Hades takes out the Lawrence, that's fine, but look at what's on the board still. There's a Mine, there's a Smee, Doc, John Silver. I see why he wanted to get rid of the Calhoun, is because he wanted to quest with Diablo, but it's just not looking good at this point. It's really unfortunate, to be fair here. It's really unfortunate for Dean. Don't see any crabs, don't see any big Elsas. Haven't seen them for both games. And those 2 are really strong cards to have in this matchup. You want, if you're playing against this matchup, those are the 2 cards you want to be seeing, because you don't see the big Elsa early, but you want to be able to fight the board back with crabs, fight the board back with foxes, 1 drops, bang, and then once you have control of the board, when our opponent starts, kind of desperation going for, the last cards in his hand, whatever is left, questing with them, you're also going to keep them locked while you start winning back the lore with the rest of your characters that you've been winning board control with. And yeah, I think those are 2 essential cards, and he just didn't see it. So there's a lot of just unluckiness going on there. But yeah, Chris did play a Chinpo, which was of course a pretty good play. But luckily we had another Hades to take it out, and now we can take the Shmi out. And the Doc gets to keep going though, because Diablo doesn't do anything without crab. And yeah, the Mine gets to survive forever here. John Silver is still alive. Doc is still alive. He's gonna quest out, and yeah. Oh, Kita. Okay, so this is just nail in the coffin. Once Kita comes down, you lose. And I don't think this is anything against Dean. It's just I've been in this situation. Once Kita comes down and you lose, it's just Fox is really good here, Crab is really good here, but when he has a lot of characters on the board, it's kind of over. But yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to go over. Unfortunately, this is a loss for Blurple here, but really fun to see Blurple in a big event like this. And good fight, Dean. It was very well played. But yeah, I mean, this is a really hard deck to play against too. So definitely something you have to practice against. So I hope this kind of commentary does help you out here. And if you are up against this deck and you do want to play Blurple, I hope this helps. But yeah, no, good game. If you enjoyed this kind of reviews, let me know. I'll try and do more of them. They're kind of easier for me to film too, so I might be able to put more stuff out. But yeah, I might just cover high profile events or stuff like that. But yeah, I got a couple more videos for you guys this week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, and yeah, ciao.